right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. A little bit of a break there, but we are back now with the next game. We'll call it game number 3. We got BMG up 2-1 over Stay Green after starting down 1-0. Here coming from the losers bracket. So obviously 2 wins in a row. They got some momentum right now. We'll see if they can get the job done or if Stay Green can persevere like they've done in the past and at least force a final game, and who knows what can happen there. With us, I'm bringing CBK once again, joined by Insania. Game starting off a little bit different this time around. The initial bans were Grenix, Bubbles, Ophelia, Rhapsody. Rhapsody actually being banned by Stay Green. And they instead pick up Pestilence with their first pick, followed by Parasite. So Rhapsody getting initially banned here.
Yeah, I think it's not been working out for Sunil with the Rhapsody. They've picked it 2 games in a row, and it's just not worked at all. So he's shifting it up, maybe going for something different. And he does get the Pestilence, which is an absolute awesome hero, so strong right now. Fits the meta just perfectly. I'm really surprised by the response pick of Parasite, though, from BMG. I personally don't like the hero very much. I don't think it's very effective. But there is always a thing that Facehug does steal away the sprint from the flight.
Yes.
So that's important to keep in mind, and it transfers him to himself and makes him kind of useful. So I think that's a direct counter pick, and they're going to try to put a lot of focus on that middle lane and try and shut it down the Pestilence. Torturer, to me, indicates that you want to run a short lane, dual lane, and you want to use a Torturer as the zoning hero because he's so effective at it. The impalement is just ridiculous for that purpose. So kind of already denying the Parasite one of his biggest factors, which is his laning presence.
On top of that, too, I'm curious because they're known for running a Pestilence short lane, so I do wonder.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. I think Gauntlet would have been a better pick, and I think it was you and me. We talked about it sometime that the Gauntlet ultimate purges the flight away from Pestilence.
Maybe, yeah, I do actually remember.
Right,
talking
yeah.
about that, yeah.
Exactly.
I think it does, yes.
It does. I think it does too. So it should have. I think that is a hero that should have fit them perfectly to pick this early on against the Pestilence. But no, they decided to go with the Parasite.
Yeah.
And I personally think SG are just going to dodge the middle lane matchup. But it really depends on what Hanskin decides to ban in the second phase.
As usual. They will go with the Engineer once again for the hands of Sealkick. Corrupted Disciple is what they're going to value here with that final pick. So.
I mean, BMG likes to run Corrupted Disciple as a suicide hero. They normally buy boots on him and pull him a little bit of regen, and Jonas goes long lane with him and usually does just fine. He's such a strong laner, and with a Conduit, no support hero can really zone him out, so he is going to get farm anyways, especially with that early boots. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if they did that, but also it keeps the option open of going for an aggressive tri lane with the Engineer and Parasite that they already have.
Very true, yeah. Jonas Savannah has definitely done very well with that Suicide Corrupted Disciple in the past as well, so yeah, we'll see what that does end up with. But Ravener, Truckin' Master, Gauntlet, Warbeast. Going to be those bans here, so Stay Green, of course, focusing more on that Super KG this time around with the Ravener Gauntlet coming out. We'll see what that final ban is here.
I think the bans so far have been really good. The Drunken Master ban, especially dangerous when you have a Pestilence, and in general, just a very, very powerful hero. And Chessie plays it really, really well. So I like that ban from BMG a lot. I think that's a good targeted ban. I don't really know if I agree with the Ravener ban. It worked out really, really well in the first game when they had the Tremble and the Chipper. But as a hero against the Pestilence, I don't think he's very, very good.
Yeah.
But of course, again, it comes down to the laning phase. They don't want to get destroyed in that mid lane. So yeah, deciding to ban that out. Gauntlet, I think, is a perfect ban for obvious reasons. The Purge, the hooking ability. And you don't want to let Super KG play hooker. That's really, really effective in the meta. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're deciding maybe to ban the Devo here or go a different route, but because obviously
the problem with Devour is the problem with him is he doesn't really bulk up armor, so he's very, very susceptible to Pestilence Ultimate, and with Impalement and Pestia already, I think he'd just die if he goes for the hook.
Yeah.
They just turn around and man up on him, and he just wouldn't work out. So Devour shouldn't be too big of a threat. Whereas Gauntlet, on the other hand, has the Enfeeble. He provides a lot of damage, as well as a lot of lockdown if you're able to line up that ulti.
Yeah. That makes sense. So, the chance of it probably pretty low here from BMG, and even if they do, then Stay Green could be happy with that. So, the final ban, by the way, it was Gemini from Stay Green, and then Wretched Hag to finish things off from BMG.
Yeah.
So.
I think the Gemini ban is pretty smart. It's a hero that deals with Pestilence very well. He just splits up, ulti's gone, merges back, ulti's gone if he has a 1-1 with the Wolves. Um, so it's a smart ban from Swindle's end. I wouldn't have minded seeing a Gemini in their own lineup actually, but decides to just ban it this time.
Yeah.
Hag, a hero that Chelsea plays pretty much every game it feels like, at least used to. um, so not a surprise there at all. It's one of those suicide mid heroes that can do well against an NG lane. But they do leave Pharaoh open, and I think Pharaoh's probably going to be in that position this game. It really depends on the last pick, but Pharaoh just a fantastic hero mid to have against the dual lane. Almost always gets his farm, spams that rocket, keeps lane control, is able to contest runes.
Yeah.
Just a really powerful suicide mid lane hero.
Good option there as a result. So now BMG can definitely thinking about what Super KGE is going to play here. Most likely what it comes down to. I know Moraxis is still, I mean, he seems like he's beginning more and more attention, so he's still there. They got Keeper of the Force is actually still there on the table as well. Wonder if he might be addressed. Magnus is going to be the pick, though, once again for BMG.
Yeah,
so
they
well
like
the
that
last game.
Magnus. Exactly. I mean, it worked out so well. He did fantastic in lane. And if there is going to be a suicide Pharaoh middle, Magnus is one of those heroes that can do really, really well against them in a 1v1 matchup, I think. Pharaoh, in general, very, very strong against melees because of his Hellfire and how much damage he's able to output with that. But I don't think he can stand the harassment from Magnus. He can't really reply to it by any means. So it's a pretty good matchup for the middle lane if it does end up going that way.
Yeah. Ooh, stay green going, Madman. Interesting. That's going to end up in Chelsea's hands, maybe?
Yeah, almost definitely going to be a suicide Madman Pharaoh middle with a dual lane Pestilence Torture short lane. At least that's what I'd like to see. And I think it's a very smart draft. Madman's going to do crazy damage with the Pestilence ulti up, and with a Cranium Basher on Madman and the passive bash that Pestilence has, that is a lot of crowd control that they're providing, together with the mini stuns from Pharaoh, Tempest, Glacial Blast, and just an overall very, very solid lineup. I feel it's a very balanced lineup. They got very good every stage of the game. They're not very, they don't have this one specific peak and then they fade off, but they're just consistently going to be really strong as a whole. Strategy-wise, I mean, they're going to have to run a very gank-heavy game when Pestilence gets his blink and Pharaoh hits 6. So, looking at BMG's lineup, they don't really have a lot of response TP heroes. Like, normally against a gank-heavy team, something like a Witch Slayer can be great, where you just TP in and you're able to respond really well. Bloodhunter, definitely that kind of a hero. Really good for cleaning up late team fights, helping out with dives. So I actually like that pick here. I don't know if it's gonna do enough, but I think it's a good option. I would have liked something like Witch, but Bloodhunter definitely works.
Going the Bloodhunter. So interesting too. So Super KG is actually gonna play the Magnus this time around. As a result of that too, they got Jonas Fan on Corrupted Disciple. So, again, I'm not saying that he's not going to do well with the hero by any means, but Jonas Fan, obviously, he was the one that played Magnus last game and had that great success. So we'll see how Super KG is able to perform with it, but Bloodhunter, final pick, another kind of fun, different hero we don't see too often. Ever since that buff, though, he's at least been getting some attention and seen him here and there. So the new Feast is powerful, man.
I mean, it makes him such a strong laner. I mean, he already was ridiculous in lane, but with the new ability, it's just so hard to deal with him. And I think he's a great pick against a hero like Madman, a hero like Pestilence. His ult is going to do loads of damage to these high mobility heroes. And the silence on top of that with the Blood Crazy. It's just, I think Fuzi's going to have to be very careful with how he uses that on Madman. Because later on in the game, together with the ultimate active from Madman and his passive, the 20% damage bonus that the Blood Crazy gives is going to be ridiculous. Or is it actually 80%? It scales up. Mm-hmm. So the damage from Madman can be absolutely ridiculous if he isn't careful with how he uses it.
Yeah. And then there's the being able to see through Invis with that Blood Sense, of course.
Definitely.
In cases. Yeah. So that's definitely a nice attribute of it as well, so of the hero in general.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't seen this skin before. Holy crap. Chelsea playing the different skin Madman. Anyways, he's going to be going middle matchup here. In the end, so they're going to send Pharaoh top, and actually they will have the Pestilence Torture in that bottom, the dual lane bottom as we expected. Corrupted Disciple, Engineer's down here initially. I don't know if he's going to actually go down here or not. Could you see them doing that?
I think he's just warding. No, I think he's just warding, and then he's going to rotate away. If they were actually going for this play, I think they would have had the Parasite with them.
Okay.
But no, Doesn't look like it. Maybe they're just giving Magnus level 3 early on in mid. They don't want to give him too much, and they're sending an engineer down bottom to prevent Torture from completely zoning out the CD, or maybe even go for a first blood attempt here.
Yeah.
Cannon ward is a lane ward. No, they're actually dual laning. Interesting.
They are going to be dual laning. Yeah, he puts the ward aside off to the side, and he's going to come right behind Corrupted Disciple. So that means it's going to be Magnus versus Madman mid. Again, Magnus, though, in the melee matchup especially, with that Volcanic Touch, did very well. But Madman kind of going in and out with that stock and whatnot, so be back and forth.
Yeah, no, I think this is a very even matchup middle. Both parties should be able to get farm. It's going to be a very harass heavy lane, so expect roams to happen to the mid lane.
Yeah.
Tempest and Parasite become very, very important when you got these kind of a heroes mid, where they're both going to try and keep each other low at all times.
You see right there, the keg stun came out Pestilence, and then Conduit was applied by Corrupted Disciple. The thing was, he was standing right on top of Pestilence, so easy impale and then walk away. But you can kind of get the idea of what they're going for at that bottom lane in terms of harassment there. So this aggressive dual lane, BMG definitely known for doing this from time to time, and going to be doing it here. And again, so far they're making a statement that it's going to be that's going to be a pain to deal with. So. Yeah, we'll see how it progresses out. And then you got your top lane matchup, of course, Bloodhunter versus Pharaoh. As you already put it, I mean, Bloodhunter already was a very strong 1v1er, just laner in general. Now with that new Feast ability, even that much stronger. So I think that's safe to say he's going to have a pretty good start here when it's all said and done. But yeah, what do you think about that, to go this dual lane but not send Parasite down here? You think that is a fault to what they're trying to go for here?
They did run the Parasite aggressive the first game, and in that game I think it was a Rhapsody and a Tempest that they had to face to get into the jungle. It is almost impossible to get into the jungle against a Torture as a Parasite. He's just going to zone you out so easily. So I don't think they had the option to really send Parasite down here. So definitely a good decision on their end not to do it.
Corrupted Disciple. I think he's going to be fine, yeah. Play the Conduit, but not nearly enough to do with. It takes the stun and goes back to the lane. So there's a lot of fighting over there off to the side. Obviously, they're doing the creep pull there. Was Stay Green, but in the end, they kind of fight it off. Torture. Z-Freak needed to fall back before Corrupted Disciple's able to get close enough. He already has those boots, by the way, so we're really trying to take advantage of that. Again, getting in there, getting that Conduit up, and draining your damage, and also putting out a ton as a result. So really keeping up the pressure there.
Yeah, for sure. And, I mean, you would expect the Engineer Corrupted Disciple lane to do really, really well. But since they are down here in the long lane, they were not really able to use the Conduit and just walk down heroes as they would otherwise. And Tempest is at level 4, which is a scary point. We see Sealkit chose to ward inside in the river here, around the bottom rune.
Yeah.
Which protects middle from getting roamed.
Oh, actually,
but the ward that he placed...
Pestilence? Okay, he's going to be fine, sorry. They were trying to chase him down, but no. Torture stun comes in, is going to be fine. So about the wards here?
Yeah, no, the ward that he has placed bottom for himself, it's a very defensive ward, and Tempest can pretty much be in the lane before they realize that he's there. So if they overextend just a little bit, it's going to be so easy for Minus to come down here and gank. But interesting rotation here from Parasite. I think this could be very, very important and a big kill.
Madman nearly died there in the middle lane, but yeah, back to the bottom lane. Parasite coming in with the Leech Electric. Tide it does connect. The keg stun's just out of range. That could be the difference maker right there. Torture, he's barely alive. Health potion tick is enough, and he's not able to finish him off, so still no bloodlust kill to be had as BMG, both the middle and the bottom lane, they get very, very close, but again, barely seen. Oh, he's going to go for Electric Tide right here. Will it be enough? No, he doesn't even hit it, so it tries to play dive-like, but does not connect. And actually now Pestilence is going to cut him off. I don't know if he's going to have the follow-up, though, so yeah, Corrupted should be fine. In fact, doesn't even waste the mana, but in the end, very, very close right there to, again, getting a bloodless kill, but not to be, and Madman's actually, he's doing very well. Had near death, but he's 24-1 here against a 19-2 Magnus, and he's actually going to be going for the Invis rune top. He picks
Yep.
up.
I mean, it's a very even lane matchup. Man. They're both harassing each other a lot, and rune control definitely in favor of Madman, and he's using it there. Minus was going for the bottom rune, and Chessie went for the top rune, securing both runes, knowing that Parasite was down in the bottom lane, not able to defend one of the runes. So
yeah.
This is going to make a pretty big difference. Super KG is forced to go back to base and buy a TP to get back in lane, missing a little bit of experience, but more importantly, it's that extra bit of gold that he had to waste on the TP.
Sure, that was about, yeah, Jonah's a fan. Kind of trying to make something happen, and actually needs to be careful right here. Here comes Madman stalking in. Does have a barrel roll to use. Going to get it off right there. Kegstun actually a little bit too early. It doesn't matter, though. Pestilence going to cut him off. Bloodlust kill in their favor. Now Engineer, he's also in a lot of trouble. This is possibly going to be another kill for Stay Green. Engineer just trying to sidestep anything, but it's not going to happen. He gets the Kegstun off, but again, it doesn't matter. Pestilence taking some tower damage. but he's going to be fine. So that all resulted in a double tap for Swinnemelons, actually, playing the Pestilence. It seemed like the lane was going decently at the bottom lane for BMG, but after that, all of a sudden, Pestilence now 327 gold per minute, and he's having a great time.
Pestilence, like, this is exactly why they went long lane. They didn't want him to allow him to get farm, and now he just got 2 kills. He's on top of the farm ladder, I do believe, after Blood Hunter and Magnus. But like, he's doing really, really well. Wait, no, he's nowhere near the top. My bad. But he's doing good now. He's sitting at 330 gold per minute. That's really acceptable farm for him. Yeah. It's not going to get any worse than this. As soon as he hits level 6, it's going to be hard for BMG to stay down bottom. They're already on a level 3 and 2 versus level 3 and 5. So contesting this lane is going to be really, really difficult without help from the Parasite.
Magnus and Madman again going back and forth, but Madman does have that advantage so far. Blood Hunter, though, in the meantime, he's obviously a key figure here for BMG, being played by Fuzi. He's got the Steam Boots. He has the Iron Shield that he went first. He is level 6 now as well. So is Pharaoh, for that matter. He's actually trying to Mummy Wall him right there, but not able to connect. But here comes Madman actually flying in. Blood Hunter's going to be on the run. He does he have his ultimate? He does have Hemorrhage. He's going to use it right there on Madman, actually, trying to make him not chase him down. And yes, Madman is going to stall as a result. And now Blood Hunter is continuing to run. They do have a 20-minute ult. Only level 1, though. It's not going to be enough for the kill. And Blood Hunter's going to be fine for now. Will they tower dive this? Of course they will. No TPs to be coming in. Oh, there is one TP, actually. Good juke coming out from Fuzi right there. Here comes Magnus. He's going to put the stun on a Madman, but Blood Hunter cannot do much. He needs to be very careful. He goes in. He baits him out. He will fall, but Madman is going to die in the process when it's all said and done. Bottom lane in the meantime. Jonathan picks up a kill on a Z-Freak as well. So that was a pretty entertaining chase up there, but it does end up being a 1-for-1 in the end.
Yeah, a slight misplay there from Limp. He uses level 1 rocket. That was by no means going to kill the Blood Hunter a little bit early in the tower range instead of waiting for when Blood Hunter runs into the trees to juke and use that vision provided by the rocket to get the kill for sure. And it actually ends up costing Chessie his life. So small thing that could end up making a big difference in the game.
Yeah, and I believe Super KG got that kill as well. So all of a sudden his GPM definitely starts to go up there. 370 gold per minute. He's still hanging around the top side, actually. He might go for something here. Hemorrhage is ready to go. He charges in, but no. Pharaoh's already off into the river. He's going to be going maybe for an 8-minute rune kind of, or maybe even just solve something up, but Magnus trying to chase it down. And actually, Magnus needs to be careful now. He is going to be turned on right here. He does have a lava surge. He uses the other. Oh, he dodges the wrath of the Pharaoh. He knew it was coming, and he's able to sidestep it. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, by the way, Corrupted Disciple gets picked off as Tempest comes in, but nice sidestep there from Magnus. Oh, he didn't over, actually.
This ain't over yet, but a haste rune is going to spawn, and that's probably going to be...
That was good timing.
Yeah. And the lol from Chessie. Of course it's a haste rune.
Of course.
Yeah. It's like the Z-Freak 2-minute haste rune. Every time Z-Freak checks rune.
Yeah.
At 2 minutes, it's a haste rune. Yeah, no, a little bit of luck on BMG's end there. Slight bit of irritation from Chessie, naturally. Like, any other rune and he would have died.
But in the end, he does survive, and obviously that's what matters for his sake. So, but again, a good job also dodging the Pharaoh ultimate initially.
Yeah, for sure.
Big part of surviving.
For sure, really smart play there. Stuns into the fog, knowing that it's nighttime in the game here, so players don't really have a lot of vision. Abuses that to his advantage. Oh.
Kexta just missed. But again, good play from Chessie, so you got to give credit to the opposition there in that case.
For sure, for sure.
Sidestep that.
I mean, I've been giving Steelkid, I gave him a lot of credit for his last game performance, but this game he's missed quite a lot of like important kegs where if they would have landed, it would have been a kill. Instead, it's ended up with them dying. So a little bit of sloppy play. I would definitely say that he is the best engineer player in this competitive scenes. Like, he plays it so much, and he plays it so much better than the other players, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit weird for me to see him miss kegs. Feels weird.
He's only level 3 as well. Definitely doesn't help. He just hit that too, so obviously having an under-leveled game and definitely a stressful game, I'm sure, as far as being in that place. So we'll see if he can start to recover, gets level 6, of course, energy field, always impactful. See what impact that does have. Magnus bottom lane, by the way. I don't think he was seen right there. He's being pretty sneaky about this. They're going to try to maybe make a turn happen. But I don't know if they're going to be initiating Corrupted Disciple anytime in the near future. In the meantime, they do initiate on a Parasite, actually. No creeps nearby. He will face dog on a Tempest, trying to escape. He infests one of the Elementals. Is it going to be enough, though? Probably not. No, Chessie will pick up the kill when it's all said and done. So, good find on the Parasite right there in the jungle, as Hanskin has not been his game on Parasite here. Only 180 gold per minute, really.
Yeah, he's trying very hard to help out the bottom lane, and they definitely do need help down there. And but Stay Green are just playing it smart. They understand that in order for BMG to get back into this game, they really need to do something at the bottom lane. BMG are just they're suffering too much as Pestilence gets caught.
No, he's going to be fine. In fact, they might go for a turn. Impale's going to miss, however. But Tempest ultimate a lockdown Magnus. There's the kick coming out. Here comes Blood on her. Hemorrhage applied to Torture. That should be a kill. Sass on Tempest in the meantime. The line stun from Magnus and the easy kill set up. You do see a Tormented Soul coming in. But again, only a level 1, so minimal damage from that. So BMG, they all come together in that fight. And they do get the 2 kills. Pestilence did live. But I think BMG is not going to group up and go for a tower push. So yeah, Bloodhunter getting involved other places on the map. And now they're going to try to make something down here. At least just Bloodhunter going to push it out. What do you think Bloodhunter's going to go for, by the way? An early Energizer, straight into Mock. What kind of game are we going to see?
I wouldn't mind seeing the Energizer, and I think probably going to go for the Dawnbringer, unfortunately. I think a Purge this game wouldn't be all too bad, especially against the Pestilence. He's definitely going to need some way to deal with the Swarm from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would expect an early Dawnbringer maybe into a BKB, kind of similar to how you build a Gemini, a little bit.
Okay.
Not really sure. It could go for a Heart as well or something like that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure on the Dawnbringer.
You just want the Energizer there, so.
Yeah. I mean, that's
pretty standard.
I think that's kind of implied. Yeah, at this point in the game, I mean, it's become the go-to Agi carry item. Oh, bottom lane.
Oh, yeah, they know Pestilence is in here. He's going to try to TP out. Will he be successful? Yes, he will. They could not see him. And Magnus could not send his result. Magnus is pointing to the middle in the meantime. As you do see Stay Green trying to maybe make a move there, but they fall back before too much happens. So very close circumstance there for Sonamel's on that Pestilence. But he does manage to skirt on out, and obviously not going the Alchemist bones this game. This game definitely didn't call for that. Going just more of the routine build here. He's got the Steam Boots, a little bit of build up. We'll probably see that Portal Key coming next in line for him. So Madman,
yep.
Where's he at? 360 gold per minute. He's actually the top farm of the game once again. Oh, what is going on bottom, actually? Bloodhunter being chased back. Silence is applied to Pestilence. You do have Engineer nearby. Okay, the Hemorrhage comes out. There's the Minotaur stuff from Parasite. Coming in with the Invis. Looking to go for the kill, but nice pass at the Pharaoh. Coming over from Pharaoh. Trying to at least go for one turn kill. They do get the one on Engineer. And somehow Pestilence is still alive. Are you kidding me? They are going to chase off to the side. Super KGE gets picked off. Holy crap. Limp making some big plays right there on Pharaoh. And helping to save his teammate get a turn kill. Big plays.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, talk about being at the right place at the right time. I don't know how many times I said it at the stream hack. How Limp was almost always where he needed to be.
Yeah.
More important than anything, it was just incredible to watch him play these counter gankers, and he just does it so well. And you just showed it off right there. He was at the right place at the right time, waited, caught the Pharaoh ulti at the right time, saved Swindle's life, got a return kill. Almost 2 there. So, really good play on his end. Knowing where to be. Reading the game well.
And he was. Engineer coming back to the bottom lane. He's going to put down a rev ward. He needs to be careful right here. You look at Z. Freak actually put it on a ward of sight. Was it in range? It is. Oh, that's unfortunate. He put it right in range of that rev ward that was just placed. By,
nothing more frustrating as a support.
I would imagine, yeah. You're like doing like the main part of your job and to immediately be canceled out. It's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah. You just feel so outplayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little good times.
So yeah, no, BMG going for play down bottom again. This is typical BMG. They don't really farm. They just want to go for the hero kills. And it looks like a team fight's going to happen here at the bottom lane. It's going to be very important with targeting and how they execute the fight. Z-Freak has actually not bought boots yet. He's sitting at 600 gold, saving for a buyback, I assume, knowing that this fight is happening. Oh, here we go.
It's a little spread out right here. You do see they're going to try to collapse on the torture. They will get the initial kill, but now Corrupted Disciple, he is dropping double damage. It doesn't matter. He falls, and now Parasite's on the run as well. Engineer also dropping pretty quickly. Off to the side, Magnus shelling up the eruption. He gets it on top of Madman, doing a good amount of damage right there. He does have a Lava Surge in 1 second, but it is not their numbers right now. Bloodhunter and Magnus are on the run. Madman's chasing a barrel roll to slow them both. There is a TP coming in for Parasite. Will they go for a turn kill? Yes, they will. Burst damage on the Madman. The face sucking. No, he tries to. Oh, he ran into the Tempest ultimate. He tried to cancel it, but he ran into it, and that's going to pay off big time in favor of Stay Green. He takes over the Warlock, but he falls shortly after. Chessie with the hat trick, and it goes to show you just a little bit of a misstep. What can lead as a result? They could have gone for the burst on the Chessie instead, but the Tempest ultimate did all the difference right there.
Yeah. No, it's just general smart play from Stay Green right here. They're targeting the right heroes. We saw BMG split fight, not good for their lineup. What they want is they want a fight that's collected on a small area where Corrupt Disciple is allowed to just drain damage. CD was, I think, the first hero to fall on their team, and they just do not have anything to come with when CD is down. Bloodhunter is basically an ultimate at this point in the game. He's not hitting hard enough to really be a threat in the fights. So they need to get Corrupt Disciple to start picking up and doing damage in the fights. Otherwise, they're gonna have a really, really rough time.
You look at Madman, 1,700 goals saved up, and definitely playing more of that very early on impact, very carry-heavy Madman this game as a result of how things have been going. I mean, 7-1-3 already, and he's back to the bottom lane to continue to farm, so going to be fun to see where he builds. You know, talked about the idea of something like that Brutalizer, perhaps. Shrunken Ed is, as always, very useful, but definitely going to have the shop open to him in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. I think he probably is going to go for that Shrunken Head first, and then probably follow it up with a Brutalizer. The synergy between Brutalizer and his passives and his ultimate is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So not going for it on Madman almost feels like a misplay, so definitely looking forward to seeing that further on. Something interesting in this game is Parasite's item build. He's chosen to go for a power supply, and it really does not have a lot of gold. He has still not finished his phase boots. And he really, it feels like he's more of a support hero than he is anything else. Whereas Minuts on the other side has his Mana Ring as well as Astrolabe, and is providing so much for his team. And I think this is why Parasite in general, just as a first pick even, is very questionable. The hero just doesn't provide that much unless he starts snowballing.
Has not been the ideal Parasite game. As Super KG in the middle lane, putting down the creeps right there, doing a little bit of damage to Madman, but by himself. Now top tower is going to fall for Parasite and Corrupt Disciple, actually, so a little bit of gold boost coming out for them. Hanskin actually getting credit for the tower kill right there, but you got Staker. It looks like they want to make something happen mid. They're kind of grouped up here quite a bit.
Yeah, Kyle also showed his portal key up top, which is kind of important to note.
Okay.
He did use it to try and get the night top, but unfortunately failed. But yeah, no, another tower kill for BMG. That's a lot of gold that they just got. Maybe they feel confident enough to go for play here, but it looks like they're just going to dodge the middle lane fight. They know that they're behind, but I don't know if they can farm their way back into this. Stay Green just has a really good team to control the map. Madman farm aggressively. Pharaoh to just assist anybody with the counter ganks. And Pestilence is just such a hard hero to bring down with a max movement speed.
Yeah.
As well as just his tanky nature.
Now, Magnus just got his portal key himself, so they're going to maybe try to make something happen here in the middle lane, but no, this is not going to be a good start. Parasite gets jumped. Beautiful catch coming out from Stay Green, and obviously not what BMG was hoping for, so he's going to be dead for another 27 seconds. And of course, Stay Green knows that they have the numbers advantage here. Will this matter though? Magnus, he's ready. There goes the channel.
Have a buyback. Uses the buyback.
He's coming back in. He stunts in right there on a Tempest. Tempest taking a lot of damage right there as a result. Astrolabe heal. Big impel stun coming out from Pestilence. The silence on Tempest preventing an ultimate though. He is going to fall. Magnus goes down. You said the buyback on Parasite. He is here, but Madman's doing plenty of damage. There's a burst onto him. It's not enough though. Corrupted Disciple goes down. Parasite needs to run away. Leech is not enough again. He sidesteps somehow as Madman's still alive. The mummy wall is causing issues. Bloodhunter is going to get the kill. He will heal up as a result. So at least a little bit of sign of life there at the end for BMG. And now Bloodhunter is going to run away and should be fine. Ooh, just out of range of that impale stun. So crazy fight there again. Just enough damage to get that Madman kill. And obviously that's a huge part of Bloodhunter. He shoots up in life when that happens. So, I mean, the tower stays alive, and Parasite is out of buyback, so that's worth noting. Could have been worse, though.
I mean, it was an okay fight for BMG, but in the you got to look at it in the bigger picture. Stay Green has late game by miles. They got such a big advantage on their farming heroes. Madman is gonna have a BKB really soon. Swindle's not looking too bad himself, and the Pharaoh, he has what he needs. Tempest is getting big, whereas looking at BMG's side, what they got going for themselves, that's a blink on Magnus, which is really not that impactful, as we saw in that team fight. They got an Astrolabe on Tempest, which pretty much negates half the damage that the ultimate does.
Yeah.
I do believe it is. Okay, no, actually it's 880 level 2. So it still negates a big portion of it, but they need to get much better Magnus ultis than that. They cannot use that as an initiating tool.
Well, they're going to try to initiate right here on a Madman. There is the hemorrhage coming out. Madman's in a lot of trouble. Silence debuff is applied. That makes him hit harder, though, so a little bit of a dangerous play right there, but it will be enough for the kill. Energy field in the background. They're going to catch a couple. Z-Freak going to be bursting out. No, he somehow stays alive. The Astral APO comes out. Nice slice on there from Magnus, but a better stun from Pestilence. Not Tempest. Ultimate perfectly set up, and Parasite cannot stop him. Magnus will fall. Bloodhunter's trying to run away. He's just fast enough, but not fast enough. He will go down. As Olympia's credit for the kill right there. So again, it started good for BMG, but better execution from Stay Green, a big Tempest ultimate, and now Engineers also in a lot of trouble. Off to the side, Parasite and Corrupted Disciple, though. They're going to draw Pestilence, actually. So this fight isn't over just yet, and they might even go for another one. No, the Mummy Wall is going to cut them off, and it will be the end of that. So again, they started off decent. They got the burst on the map, but even without Madman, obviously Stay Green was still able to turn that and make some kills happen. So. But again, it still feels like nothing was really gained overall there, but if anything, Stay Green's still just in that better spot, and the items stand out more, so.
Yeah, but to be entirely honest, I was actually more in favor of BMG than the fight at middle, because what happened here was that their carry survived in Corrupted Disciple and got a little bit of levels, got a little bit of gold, whereas Stay Green dropped both their carries. At this point in the game, it's so important, like, to look at what heroes they're losing, because the first team to get to the BKBs is going to have a huge advantage in these team fights.
Yeah.
And right now it looks like Stay Green is just going to get there so much faster than BMG, and Jonas just died again. They're in a really rough position, to be honest. Like, they need to get a really, really good fight in order for them to be able to come back. Jonas needs to survive a fight and get a lot of kills.
Yeah, that's obviously a very good gank on a Corrupted Disciple right there. Good execution between Torture and Pharaoh, especially. Barbed Armor picked up. Great item to have. Bottom lane, Hemorrhage on a Tempest. He's trying to pour it out, and he will be successful. Parasite did not have enough mana for the face suck, so just went for the leech, and obviously it wasn't nearly enough for the kill. Top tower going down in the meantime. And again, Stay Green just picking up more and more momentum here. They're going to be moving around this top side. As you see Pestilence flying around with the Madman, who's level 15, by the way. He has 3,700 gold saved up, by the way, too. He already has that Mighty Blade, as we pointed out. So, I mean, he could either buy the Brutalizer or the Shrunken Head here, whichever route he's going.
Yeah, maybe he's just second-guessing himself a little bit right here. Not sure if he should go for the Shrunken Head right away or buy the Brutalizer. But he does decide to go for it. I like that decision. I think against an Engineer, against the Magnus, against the Bloodhunter, there's just no reason not to. It gives him so much freedom in the fights. Compared to if he doesn't have it. So I definitely like that decision. I think it's, without doubt, the right one.
They find a jump right here. Engineer going to be locked down, of course, right next to that warded sight. No, not really the most follow-up after that, though. That's actually Parasite. He's in a Vagabond later, but he's in a bad spot right here. He is going to be beat down. Madman, Pharaoh initiates on Engineer, gets the quick kill on him. So no energy field going to be happening, but Stay Green not going to pursue any further. Instead, they're just taking control of the jungle, basically. And now they're going to work their way pushing top. Now, Bloodhunter is pushing bottom in the meantime, and at least picking up some farm. He does have over 1,000 more gold saved up now since that Firebrand purchase here. So, doing something at least.
Yeah, Bloodhunter's the kind of hero that if you pick him, you want to see him set at like 500 gold per minute at this point in the game. Yeah. And if he's not, he just really doesn't feel that effective. He's going to get caught down bottom here as well.
Yep, he sure is. Oh, the Gorproc able to come through Hellfire, also doing work, so yeah, it didn't really matter. Bloodhunter's just going to try to get away here, but it's a Hemorrhage. But obviously Pestilence is going to be fine. Meanwhile, at the top lane, they actually stops the TPs, I believe. And now Tempest is going to be on the run. Torture as well. You got Corrupted Disciple on Magnus, though, chasing them. Magnus, he stunts in right there. Tempest ultimate, it only gets Engineer. Corrupted Disciple actually walks right into it. But I don't think it should matter in the end. All the elementals are blocking them off. Energy field going down, so Engineer will fall. Tempest is still alive, actually, so maybe it did matter in the end. Magnus does it, finally gets the kill. But now Madman's looking for more. He is by himself currently. He doesn't have any mana left. As actually Magnus just pointed out too. So Parasite, he can only do a leech up in 1 second. Gonna use it right there, but cannot save his teammate. And all of a sudden now Parasite's in trouble. He's gonna be jumped on. Mummy walls go up. And Hanskin's going to fall on top of that. So really, Stay Green now has turned it on. Chessie's level 16 all of a sudden. 10-3-6, 480 gold per minute here for his Madman.
Super farmed, super farmed. And it's just rough for Lions. They got a good opportunity there. They canceled TPs, but it's just the gold is at such a big difference between the two teams. There's so many items behind it. You can just notice it there. Minot survives for so long, and Z-Freak is able to do so much damage before he goes down with this level 10 Torturer. So, like, it's just the gold and XP are just making such a big difference at this point in the game. The decision making from Lions is sound. It's just they don't have the means to be able to execute what they need to do.
Through that, Stay Green again just playing, being the better team here in this game. Magnus actually stuns away before the chain reactions hits him, but it's probably not going to matter. Yeah, Gorproc comes out, and the final auto attack from Swinamels to finish him off. So it just continues here for Stay Green. It looks like Concord looking pretty juicy for them right now, especially with a Madman, this new passive, the Gore, or the Gash, excuse me, on top of the Berserk. Activated level 3, so he is hitting hard, but not hard enough apparently. They're going to actually fall back, but they going to use this to try to maybe get some picks. That's exactly what they're going to do. They find an easy kill on Engineer with that ward aside. Magnus gets a full channel eruption off, doing a good amount of damage right there, but it's not enough. He's going to be in trouble in the background. Double tap already coming out for Chessie. Might even be a third kill. Wrath of the Pharaoh connects, and yep, down goes Magnus. They did get the one kill to Torture at least, but just kind of a small trophy in a big battle right here. In fact, Corrupted Disciples also caught by the Impel Sun right there. Madman going in. Oh, he denies him. Pussy's able to deny him at least. Don't really think that really mattered, though. GG, well played. Game number 3 goes to Stay Green, and that means we have a final game here. Tied at 2 games apiece. We are going to the 4th and final game to see which team will finish Cycle 10 the champions. The last cycle here of HoN Tour Season 2, so I couldn't ask for anything better, really. Finish things up.
No, you could not at all. And take a look at Chessie's stats, by the way. He entered at 13, 3, and 7. I'm just saying.
Just saying. It almost
no,
says
but
something.
such good execution there from Stay Green. I think this was a game. In hindsight, the draft from BMG doesn't really have a lot of synergy, and I think the key points were just Stay Green, better targeting in the team fights, got that little bit of an advantage that they need to start snowballing, and then they just did.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Stay Green definitely played very well that game. And, yeah, I really think back to that bottom lane, too, how the idea was there that to stop Pestilence. And initially it was kind of working, but I think it's when Tempest came in there. They got a couple of kills as a result, and all of a sudden that kind of fell apart from there overall. So, anyways, only so much breaking down you can do. Stay Green, they take the win. That's what matters. Again, though, we got a final game coming up, tied at 2 games apiece. The grand finals here, Cycle 10. This is it. Which team will take it? The final one. Got some good money on the line here, as well as always the pride factor, especially between these two teams. It's either going to be Stay Green or BMG. One more game to decide. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another short break right here. Final game coming up next here for the grand finals of Cycle 10. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.